The Union Pacific Railroad train, which is impossible audible activity, is the means of audible activity inside of the apartment where I just took images of, first of all, there's the fake moon. This is the fake moon where the fake sun is over the same strip of property that remains for the duration of the day. And as you're aware, the elements of monitoring. The mayor that lives in the city of Ontario is gang stalking, while the entire universe is centered where I'm at. Everybody in the city of Ontario is gang stalking. That includes the demon and the sex offender that's engaged in psychological torture, Paul Leon. Okay, the entity is gang stalking with all of these elderly citizens who are not sleeping. The entity is gang stalking by the city of Ontario in helicopter. Okay, that's again the sex offender that likes to jerk on his genitalia while he's monitoring mine in the bathroom. This is the same impossible light activity you see during the day under the fake sun. And also note the timing that the demons who are already stalking in helicopter begin sounding helicopter as I walk outside of the apartment, because they were monitoring with that demon who's going to a mental asylum in unit number 55, license 5WUB 715, where the fake moon is and where the fake sun is right over me, where the demons, the sex offenders that are obsessed with monitoring me, engaged in psychological torture. Mike Lorenz is a candidate for federal prison. Better yet, a mental asylum, because stalking American citizens in helicopters is the outward demonstration of a high level of mental instability and malice. Those are psychopaths that want to murder and kidnap someone, and they want to call it a day's work being a police officer. The entity is doing so in the specific environment. This is my shadow that's extending this way on the ground. And that's my shadow that's upright. This is the same light activity during the day. And the entity that's acting with impunity, gang stalking by helicopter, as you documented, this is exactly why the federal government is going to prosecute the Ontario police and disband them. And that's also why federal prison and mental asylum, and also this one. And Tracy Banks is inside gang stalking her own daughter. She's going to a mental asylum. All right, I have multiple shadows, as you can see. None of this is the product of what are natural light activity, and it's under the fake moon. Where you see the fake sun rising, where you see the fake sun setting, is where the demons are gang stalking by helicopter. And this is the desire, the outward communication of a state government that is wanting to go to federal prison and mental asylums. The outright obvious engagement in domestic terrorism in the state of California, which is exactly why the Ontario Police Department that's committed to criminal conduct, not law enforcement, all right, they are going to be disbanded. You're looking at the entire illegitimacy, what is shameful conduct, criminal activity, literally bringing shame to what is the police force that the United States would like to be associated with. I'm showing you what is the corruption of the executive branch. It is domestic terrorism in the United States. By the way, they were already stalking in helicopter. All you did was witness the moment where the demons that were already stalking, through the means that I've documented, the demon that's pacing in apartment 55, amplification, the demons that are monitoring as I walk outside, Union Pacific train heard inside of the apartment, they were already stalking in relevant position above. That's why she's going to an asylum. She's maintaining ongoing criminal conduct. These are demons that are gang stalking together. Remember, gang stalking, the purpose of it is because the police, who are actually murderers and kidnappers, want to engage in malicious murder and kidnapping while wearing a badge and associating it with law enforcement, necessarily criminally defaming you as though you've committed some crime or that you are mentally unstable. This is the disbanding and the permanent removal from sex offenders like Mike Lorenz. Okay, he's removed from law enforcement. Paul Leon, Alan D. Wapner, you know these demons' names because they're associated with the means of aerial surveillance over the specific environment. And the demon that is Paul Leon, who knows exactly with regard to the millions and millions of dollars that are expended on criminal activity, surveilling an American citizen, and then doing so more profusely because these demons are working overtime because I'm prosecuting them. You're witnessing their mental illness, however, while they're being prosecuted, and they're showing their obsession with my genitalia and with stalking me, even while the demon's secret is now out. The fact that they are indeed gang stalking. The fact that they just flew over an American citizen who was documenting it, you'll recognize that, and it's going to be prosecuted as the impermissible threat. All right. It is currently, again, 12:46 a.m. on what is December 19, 2024. That criminal conduct is putting everybody in federal prison. Every single last one. Units 33 through 64. They already know it. They're gang stalking with this demon that's patrolling around me while you see my upright shadow over here. That's called impossible light activity. While the demons are flying over my head in impossible light activity, those demons are monitoring in unheard of and inhumane and psychotic methods such as helicopters, which Paul Leon, the city of Ontario, spends millions of dollars engaging in criminal activity. That's not going to be the mayor. He is publicly being embarrassed, openly being called out for the sexual violence, the criminal conduct, the domestic terrorism that he is engaged in. The entity knows while the fake sun remains over this strip of property from the beginning to the end of the day, the whole city of Ontario knows where the fake sun is because they're targeting me citywide, using the resources such as planes and helicopters to do so, incriminating everybody, all these elderly citizens. This demon does not sleep. She's obsessed with stalking me as I walk around, and while the police fly over, it's incriminating her. She's going to an asylum, and I've captured many, many videos of her and her criminal documentation, her criminal conduct. This is why you're going to a mental asylum, because of the weight of the evidence showing that mental instability on its face. Your mental health becomes a part of the controversy. You're not avoiding a mental asylum. The rest of them are going to federal prison. And gang stalking in helicopters shall be met with federal prison or a mental asylum. And a gang leader such as Mike Lorenz is not removed from that prosecution as well. It is currently 12:48 a.m. This is P.O.C. This is what the Ontario International Airport is engaging in. This is called amplification. This is never the result of vibrating an apartment. The demons are vibrating the apartment while they're gang stalking. And this is what they're doing while the demon in 55 is patrolling back and forth like a rabid dog in the living room, monitoring me. And while she's doing that, she is maintaining audible activity inside of the apartment while the entity, the city, is gang stalking me together. This is not a private residence. This is a facilitating venue. This is the foolishness and the implosion of federal group stalking and monitoring, while a city, a government, the state, is engaged in the organized crime of what is seeking to maliciously murder and kidnap. There shall not be any sacrifice. However, you're witnessing the exposure of it and the prosecution of it, and what are necessary prosecutorial measures in addressing it. Okay, this is again showing what is the criminal that is Mike Lorenz. He knows very well the sex offenders and the stalkers that are hired on the Ontario Police. They've been engaging in gang stalking as a matter of video evidence since 2019. While they're gang stalking, engaging in kidnapping, not lawful arrest, upon making what are malicious manufacturing criminal charges while they're gang stalking. That's called the criminal defamation. Engaging in what is criminal defamation in the courts, alleging maliciously mental illness while they're gang stalking with Tracy Banks. Engaging in criminal summoning with the people of the state here at Woodside Senior Apartments while they're gang stalking, theft of my vehicle while they're gang stalking. They're engaging in what is the denial of legal relief in the courts after they stole my vehicle upon gang stalking with the same entity. Pacing around in circles right now is what you see in the engineered light. Gang stalking in plain view for the federal government to see. They will be no more. They're already done. You're witnessing what is the formal removal and exposure of it. The Ontario Police Department is no more. Okay, that's amplified audible activity. While the demons are flying in the distance, these are demons who are pacing. And you're actually witnessing what is very highly demonic conduct. That's a demon flying planes, and demons shall not have licensure in California. That's why they're gang stalking in helicopters with the demons that are a police department right now. Temporary, they're going to be done with that. And also the demons that are gang stalking. Alan D. WAPNER is a demon-possessed gang stalker and knows about the millions that are expended upon criminal surveillance from the Ontario International Airport, which is under no circumstances in a location, hovering over a senior citizen complex. And what you see now would not be heard inside of the apartment, but it's amplified on a systematic basis while demons are deviating from 2500 and 2900 Airport Road, the Terminals 2 and Terminal 4, Southwest Airlines, Delta Airlines, Alaska Airlines, Frontier, FedEx, Amazon Prime, all of those documented gang stalkers are under no circumstances coming from those terminals and then flying in the direction west, hovering over Woodside Senior Apartments. That's clearly targeting through the environment where you see the fake moon and the fake sun, and also the impossible light activity, speaking to what are the elements of monitoring. This is demonic activity underway by the airport. That's the municipality, and by the police department, that's the municipality. That is criminal conduct that Paul Leon is directly engaged in. He's a sex-offending, demon-possessed gang stalker, and he knows all about what's going on with my genitalia in the bathroom. And the criminal activity of the state directly is the evidence that's removing him and exposing him for what he is, and he encourages and approves criminal conduct by the population in the city of Ontario. This is the criminal conduct that this demon is engaging in on behalf of the state inside of the apartment, and this is criminal conduct. Walking in engineer light, that's why they're all going to federal prison. 4 legs on the ground, 4 legs, that's called criminal monitoring, and the police act via the people with a communication device. That's Title 18 in front of your face, and that's all impunity. They're all going to federal prison. The elderly that have no qualms with gang stalking you, with committing the sex offense on behalf of the state, walking by like nothing, just group stalking your face, that's exactly what's going to be addressed in federal law. And they're also engaged in a 24-hour sex offense, a demon-possessed population that's obsessed with everything that you're doing. Walking on the phone under the fake moon, living and walking around on the phone and gang stalking and living at a venue where the fake sun remains all day long. This is a population that's engaged in 24-hour surveillance, and they openly do so very, very foolishly before the world on an ongoing basis. Very demonic what you're witnessing, but it's the demon-possessed gang stalking conduct is demonic, and it's also highly criminal. It's unconstitutional and inhumane. It is currently 12:52 a.m. This is evidence that's putting the demon in 55 in the mental asylum where she belongs. She does not sleep. She's remaining right here. What the Ontario Police, the Ontario International Airport just engaged in does not help her, nor any of them. However, it's supposed to be the bully system where the ordinary target individual is supposed to be intimidated. Psychological torture is that which is supposed to oppress and silence you and place you into fear. The same conduct by the demon possessed who monitor you right in front of your face. Because that's what that demon just did, and she did so on behalf of the people. They're all going to federal prison. They're maintaining the elements of monitoring. All right, it is currently, again, 12:53 a.m. This is, again, and with regard to the pattern of conduct, this is published to the YouTube channel, the P.O.C., and also see my website where I publish all of the video evidence, and you can see the evidence of the specific environment where the fake sun is and the fake moon is, the same specific environment, which is a part of the pattern of conduct by the population that is gang stalking and is demon possessed. This is exactly what the environment was at Alvarado Gardens. The fake moon over my apartment at night, the fake sun remaining over me, the top of my head, just like this, for the duration of the day, which is exactly what I'm documenting here in Ontario, where the two are mutually exclusive, and at neither one of them is the sun ever going to be stationary for the duration of the day, like I've documented at both venues where LAPD and the Ontario PD are engaged in the same exact pattern of conduct, and they're the same entity. And they are prosecuting, for purposes of evidence, they're prosecuting themselves because the entire city is being prosecuted. The entire city. It is currently 12:53 a.m. This is P.O.C.